Hey Soup, Claytano here. Thanks again for tuning in. So today's going to be a little bit different in how we do the video because I rarely ever make informational videos, as you guys have probably already found out. I like to do more of entertaining, but I felt like this video is necessary because I do get this question a lot. And last night I was talking to one of my friends, and it was mainly about how her arena defense was, or her arena defense, arena offense was just not working. And basically what I did was I kind of broke it down to her and said, stop thinking like a conqueror, stop thinking like a fighter, start thinking like a guardian. And I don't know if it clicked in her mind or not, but what I want to do, guys, is kind of show you the advice that I was giving her. And then also I do have 10 arena invites as well, and we'll just go through some different defenses and see kind of what the best strategy is. And right now my arena rank is right at 106, so after we use the 10 wings, as long as I win most of them, you know, it should be right around, you know, Guardian 2, Guardian 3 level. So we'll see what happens, but aside from that, let's start off by going to her island and going over her monsters, okay? Alright, so let's pull up my friends list here. And she's pretty far down, as you can see. Childish, I'm sure you guys all know him. So Victoria, Victoria X. And you guys are going to be very surprised at her monsters, okay? And you're going to be asking yourself, why is she only Conqueror 2? Well, let's take a look. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 nat 5s, and I'm pretty sure she still has some in storage as well. So if you have 20 natural 5-star monsters, you're obviously going to have to spread yourself pretty thin if you want to be ruining them all. So I think that's what her problem is. She's trying to spread herself too thin because she has such great luck. She's trying to figure out, like, how do I want to ruin all my monsters. I have all these awesome nat 5s. I want to ruin them all. Now I realize that a lot of you people don't have this problem with having too many nat 5 monsters that you know what to do with. So I'm not going to worry about that too much, but basically right now her mindset for her arena defense is that she wants to be so tanky, so annoying, that so much survivability that no one attacks her. Now, that's a great way to think. However, that's only going to get you so far, because anytime you get past a certain level, you're going to get attacked no matter what defense you have. Obviously, some different arena defenses get attacked a lot more than other arena defenses, like anything that's Lushenable. So right now, she has all these great monsters that can counter double Lushen teams, whether it be speed Lushen teams or Chloe teams. She has all these monsters that can counter it. But right now she's using, I think, Brandia. I think she's using Ariel. For whatever reason, she is in love with Ariel. She doesn't even use Ritesh. I think she uses Chasen, maybe. I don't know. I looked at it though. Like, why would you have 2 6-star Chasens? I don't know. That's aside of the point. But I looked at it though, and I was like, okay, this is something that yes, it's annoying, but it's only going to get you so far. That's why she's Conqueror too. So what I was trying to build for her is a team that's going to be able to be used for arena offense mostly, and she has monsters that are going to be able to counter every single arena offense team or arena defense team. So when she's on offense, she's going to be able to counter every single one of them. Aside from maybe speed teams. So right off the bat, I don't know if you guys noticed this earlier, but she has a 5-star Nikki, or not a 5-star, but a 6-star Nikki, who has this amazing leader skill. 38% additional crit rate for all dark monsters. And then she has a Gianna, who is also somebody that has an amazing leader skill. 33% attack boost for everybody. So I was like, okay, well, what can we... She's really set on going with, like, she wants to use all Nat 5 monsters, all rare monsters, and she doesn't want to use, like, other monsters. And I'm like, look, that's awesome and all, but if they don't work together, then they might not get you where you want to go. So, if you look at the runes on this person, though, if you look at the runes, HP, HP, attack. Why? Why? It's an attack monster. Okay? Put attack runes on her. She's not gonna be somebody that's like supposed to be tanky. She's not a support monster. She's supposed to do damage, and the damage is gonna come from her her second skill with the bomb there, and also from the first skill. But I told her that this should be her main arena offense composition, because to be honest with you, it's gonna beat any Chloe team, it's gonna beat any non-Chloe team, it's gonna be any team besides a speed team. And let's be fair, the speed teams up in Guardian Arena, probably about one out of every 4 teams is a speed team. Maybe a little bit more, maybe half the teams are speed teams, but other than that, it's like Chloe's, Theomar's, and all that fun stuff as well. So what I said was, go ahead and let's put Nikki on lead or Gianna. Okay, they have the 2 attack. Now I think that going with Gianna is going to be a little bit better, just because her skill is going to scale off attack percent. But let's hold off on that just for a second. So I want to go over the 4 mobs first, and then we'll kind of fiddle around with how I would initially do them. So we have obviously the crit rate here, so these 2 monsters, and then also somebody to go good with them is going to be Galleon. The reason why is because Galleon has his 3rd skill that is also amazing. It increases the attack power of everybody on your team, and it also decreases the defense of everybody on the offense team. So that's amazing. Galleon is so strong. It's awesome. I use him all the time, and I love him. Now, to speak about Galleon real quick, he does have to have at least 2 Devilmon on this 3rd skill, because I don't know if you noticed or not, but before Galleon has these 2 skills skilled up, he may choose like 1, 2, 3 out of the entire enemy monsters. If he has them all up to that 10 and 15%, then he's going to choose all the monsters every single time, and that way every single monster has a chance to be defense broken. Okay, but as far as somebody else going with those 3, why not put Bearing in there? He's another dark monster that would scale off of the Nikki leader skill, and also his skills are amazing as well. So he's got 2 AoEs, attacks 3 times with a loud bomb and blocks beneficial effects. So that right there, that's going to be a Theomars counter. So aside from that though, he has another AoE attack that is basically like a Zeros skill where they can't use any skills for 2 turns. Okay? So, I mean, these 4 monsters can bring you so far, and the only person that's going to be able to stop you is going to be those speed teams. But we'll go over how to counter those later. But I would want Gianna to attack first. The reason being is for her 3rd skill, it's going to counter every single Chloe. It's going to remove all their all their buffs, and completely stun the entire team. Anybody that has beneficial effects is going to be stunned. Done. Okay, so their whole team's stunned. Now what do you want to do? Well, you want to bring out Galleon. You want to increase your attack power, and you want to decrease their defense. Okay, that's done. Now what do you want to do? You want to bring in Bearing with his amazing two combo AoEs. You could either have him on, I wouldn't put him on Despair, I'd probably put him on Violent, but you're going to want him to do a whole lot of damage as well. If they have a Theomars, pop the 2nd skill. If they don't have a Theomars, then I'd probably just do the 1st skill here and land those, you know, those silences. And then to finish everything off, I would have Nikki come in and wipe everybody out with this 5-time hit skill. So just like that, their defense is going to be completely just destroyed. Now this is going to be good against a team that has, you know, really anything, man. Like if they have Nemesis runes to counter double Lushen teams, they're going to be stunned anyway. Now they may Violent proc out of it and heal the entire team, but chances of that happening are, you know, I would take those chances, especially with having the amount of damage that I still have left over. I would still do this. So the main thing that you want though is to have all these monsters completely speed calibrated, meaning that you want them to be within about 1 speed each, so that way there's no gap between them, where unless they have Nemesis runes, it's gonna go boom, 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 done. And if there's any survivors, which I doubt there will be, they'll be stunned for the 1st turn, they'll be silenced for the 1st turn unless they have Vermos, which still, they may either take the defense break or the stun off. I'm sorry, defense break or the silence, which is still, they're going to be so crippled, it's not even going to matter. Plus, in case you have something weird happen, you have this Nikki here to heal the entire team up. It's like, this team, like, she could be Guardian so easily, and she has the runes for it too. I know she does. Like, she has just so many runes just spread out over all her entire monsters, and she doesn't just focus Vladjo on speed. I don't know why that's like that either, but anyway, she has all these monsters spread out so thin. Just focus on a team that can just kill somebody. I don't know. And she said in chat last night that it's no fun because she doesn't have Zeros. The game is no fun because she doesn't have Zeros, and I about shot her. Yeah, so the point of this though, to get back on track, stop thinking like a conqueror, and this is for you guys as well. It's not just pertaining to her, but stop thinking like a conqueror. Stop thinking that you need to have this crazy sustainable defense that's going to be stopping the team from even wanting to attack you, because that's only going to get you so far. Maybe Conqueror 2, maybe Conqueror 3 at absolute best, and that's pushing it. Just sustain teams are not gonna. You at least need something to kill the enemy team. Otherwise, they're just gonna rip you up slowly by surely. Especially with the destroy runes now in the game. I don't know anyone that's using those yet, but it's just don't do a full sustain team that's not going to be able to do enough damage to kill the enemy as well. Like, people that do damage off of HP are great to put in defense as well, like Ritesh, Escher, you know, things like that, because they're tanky and they'll do some damage. And especially Ritesh, like, he has a defense breaker as well, full team AoE defense break and a heal, and he does damage based off HP. Why wouldn't you have him in your arena defense? You know, there's just so many different combinations that she can do with this account. Like, why are you not Guardian? That's what I want to know. Why are you not Guardian? Because stuff like this, stuff like putting HP on a bomber. She's pretty much a bomber. Man, I just don't get it. I just don't get it at all. If she were to focus just these 4 monsters, she would be Guardian easily. At least Guardian 1. But then to have all these other tools at your disposal as well, just in case, you know, they do have a speed team, throw in Jeremiah, and then... Oh, that was another thing. For this team to work, put them all on Will. Because if they're slow, most speed teams are gonna have, like, you know, Bernard, Tyron. They're gonna want to just lock you down, boom, 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 so that way you don't have a chance to attack because you're gonna be stunned off the first turn. Well, if they all have Will, they're not gonna be able to do that unless they have like a Praha or, you know, somebody that's gonna remove your buffs. Then at that point you need to switch it up a little bit and maybe don't attack them if you don't have enough speed to attack first. Because there's some teams out there that are like that, but generally just putting will runes on these four monsters might be a little bit easier said than done, but that's gonna, you know, kind of negate the entire counter effect that any team might have, as far as like teams that don't have a buff remover on their defense. So that's her arena offense, okay? But you guys can learn from that as well. For your arena offense, I'll cover that in a different video. I know that was pretty much covering her arena offense, but I just had to get that off my chest. It was really frustrating me that she wasn't doing something more with it. But for your arena defense, you, one, don't want to be Lushenable, okay? Now, to not be Lushenable means that there's a couple things, okay? One, you want either a debuff remover on your team, or you want a Chloe on your team. Okay, now that's gonna cover basically every single Chloe double Lushen team. Now there are speed double Lushen teams out there that are a little bit slimmer, like there's not as many of them, but you do want to be able to counter against those as well. So with that being said, what can you use to have a team that's not Lushenable? Well, if you don't have someone like Gianna, who's going to remove all their buffs and stun them, if you don't have someone like Praha, use literally anybody that's going to remove their team's buffs. If you don't have Chloe, then you want somebody that's going to be like, you know, somebody that's going to make your team not, you know, get glancing hits. That's what I was looking for. Like a Casus. A Casus is an amazing non-double Lutioner, and I don't fight anybody. I have a double Lution team, and I don't fight anybody with a Casus just for the fact that she can put up her little shield and have every single one of my hits land as glancing. Where am I trying to go with this now? So if you don't have anybody like that though, what's your next move? Obviously you're probably not going to have the monster list that she does, so it's kind of weird looking through these monsters and trying to pick out a team that doesn't have all these 5 stars. But say you have Bella. Everybody can have Bella. If you put her on speed, HP, Nemesis, rather than what she has here as Revenge, that right there is going to surprise the hell out of a lot of Lushen teams, a lot of speed Lushen teams actually. And if they don't kill you with the first Lushen, then they're going to have a really hard time, because your Bella is going to heal everybody up. Her AI is amazing, and if you're past half health, she's going to heal you. You would have her on your team. You would have Vermos on your team with Nemesis as well. I would put Vertihile. Not everybody has Vertihile either, but if you put Vertihile on your team, put him with Revenge. And I mean, that's pretty much all you need. Maybe put Brienne in there as well. That right there is a Guardian 2 defense if you have them runed right, and I've seen it happen. I know a few different people that use it. I know, pretty sure Berk420 uses it. He's typically Guardian 3 level. I know Duke BLT uses this defense, which is Guardian 2 level. You know, not everybody is going to have the Brienne or the Vertihile, but there's a bunch of different things that you guys can do just with having Vermos and Bella on Violent Nemesis, okay? But what I want to do here, I'm going to stop talking about this in here. Let's go out into the actual arena and fight some teams and kind of discuss what exactly is going on. So I'm going to start with a new list here. Let's see if there's anybody that I know to start off with. Not that I see right off the bat. But, so a team like this. This team is not double Lushenable, okay? The only way that it would be double Lushenable is if you have a speed Lushen team, which is traditionally Bernard lead, Lushen, Seek. Now, all she needs to do, or all this person needs to do, I don't know if it's a she or not, but all this person needs to do is throw Nemesis on Praha, and once the first Lushen goes, if the Bernard is faster than the enemy Chloe, or if Chloe happens to not do her shield, Praha will then kick in, heal up the entire team. Your next Lushen will go, won't be able to kill anybody. Chloe will put her shield and you'll be dead, because Lushens don't have any sustain. You're going to be dead because the Zeros is going to come in. So this is a scary defense. If it's rune rate, I can see why they're up so high at 1698. So this defense right here, again, it counters Lushen teams. You can see why it's so important to counter Lushen teams, because people are looking for teams to kill with double Lushen teams, because we're lazy. Straight up, we're just lazy. Like, I don't want to fight a team like this. There's so much stuff that can go wrong on my end if I don't land a Juno, if I don't land all these different things. So this is something, you know, maybe I would pass up, mainly because Perna, if I don't land a reset on her, she would, you know, come back to life and violent proc 20 times and kill your entire team. This team right here, this is an interesting one. It's going to be based on speed. So the idea is that this person is going to be faster than your team because they have this Vanessa. Not a lot of people have something that can keep up with Vanessa's speed teams, just because the difference between 33% leader skills and 24% leader skills is a huge gap, and not something a lot of people can counter unless they have a Lushen. I'm sorry, unless they have Vanessa. Now next off though, we have this team here again. We got the Jamire lead, which is basically wanting Chloe to go first. Again, it does counter every single Lushen team for the most part. I mean, to have a Bernard that's going to be faster than a Chloe with the 24% fuck me 24% Jamire leader skill is going to be tough to beat, especially if they're Guardian 2, Guardian 3 rank. This Chloe, I guarantee you, is probably over 250, 260 speed before the Jamire buff. Okay. Let's see what else we have. So this team here is pretty interesting because it's not something that's super threatening. It does have kind of a Lushen counter ability to it, but it's not threatening for the most part. Obviously, Darian can go ahead and proc a million times and take out one person in a turn. Vermos could be super fast and stun everybody every time. So he's going for more of the sustainability defense, which I don't see this defense being that great. And like I said, there's things that can go wrong. Obviously, this can beat you just because it has a damage outputting tank here, plus another damage outputting tank. So it's not super bad, but I'm sure it could be better. This one here, what does she do? So this right here is a passive skill, and her passive skill automatically counters Lushen's. Increases the chance of landing glancing hit by 20% and recovers ally with the lowest HP by 10%. Automatic effect, so that's a passive skill. I wonder if this is Lushenable. To be honest with you, I think it might be. I think it might be tanky enough where you're not going to be able to. But let's go ahead and just try to Lushen this with my Lushen team that I typically go with. And I'm trying to think if I want to do speed. I think I can do speed. I don't know. Give me a little bit more attack. What do you think? Speed? My Bernard's not very fast at all. It's only 185 speed, but let's, because I know Vermos can be over 185 easily. Let's go ahead with my my Chloe, because typically 243 speed is going to be decent enough to not be attacked first. I don't think most Vermoses are going to have 243 speed, so we should be fine here. Which, as you can see, I might have not cut it with that Bernard, so this is a good choice. So I'm kind of play it out here. Now this is where her skill is going to come into factor, because she's going to be stopping the critical hits from landing. As you can see, that didn't do very much damage, so she stopped a lot of critical hits there. And I think we'll be okay. She had a nice shield. But as you can see, without something that's going to be a little bit more than that, as far as, well, I don't know, this might be a tough one. Let's see if we can get her out of here. Yeah, we should be fine now. But without somebody that's like Chloe, like a cases like somebody that's gonna take off the buffs from the other team, you're gonna be susceptible to getting Lushened, and you're not gonna make it past Guardian. You're not gonna make it past Conqueror if you don't have a team that's not gonna be Lushened. And just to show you guys what my defense looks like, I do have Juno, so I am able to use that to my advantage. I have Juno here, and I have kind of that wombo combo that I was talking to you guys earlier about on my friend's account. So basically I have this little bugger here and I actually made fun of this monster in a different video of mine. I think it's my most viewed video that I made fun of Orion. But she's at 213 speed on Violent, not the fastest, but she does have a buff, an attack bar buff, that's going to help my team go first. Now I do have pretty much my entire team is on speed subs. My Juno is 181 speed, and then right after Juno I have Galleon going at 178 speed, and then Zeros is a little bit far down for my liking, 176. So yeah, the gap between 181 and 176 is a little bit more than I want, but with just having them close enough, it's rarely ever going to happen where my Galleon is going to go and then the Vermos from the other team is going to go and remove the defense break that Galleon puts on. Again, not everybody has these monsters that they can make a defense like this, but just keep in mind that if your defense doesn't counter Lushen, doesn't have something to counter Lushen, like my Juno here, because Juno is going to counter the Chloe Lushen teams. Obviously my team should still get beat by speed Lushen teams, unless your Bernard is slower than 214, which that's a pretty slow Bernard. That's like my Bernard. I don't really use my Bernard in Arena much, that's why I have it slower, and he's on Violent too, but that's aside the point. But as you can see, just with having Juno in my defense and having that kind of wombo combo of having Juno go first, removing the entire buffs from the Chloe team, having Galleon go next, putting that defense break, and then having Zeros with that leader skill going first. Leader skill 33% plus his entire fiery breath. It's gonna cripple the team pretty good. And as you can see, someone lost to me just now as well while we were doing this, and they probably lost because I have my entire team on Will. If I'm just looking at their defense here, oh, I just lost to somebody else. But they probably lost because I have my entire team on Will runes. And this person here, they just changed their defense, I think. I don't know. So let's look at somebody else. So we got Tivo here. I think he typically uses a speed team. Again, if you have a speed leader plus Bernard, you're typically not going to get Lushened as far as speed Lushen teams go, because the chances of having their Bernard faster than your Bernard is very, very slim, because you're going to have that speed leader plus Bernard. So there's all these different things that you guys can do to kind of make your defense non-Lushenable. And I know it's kind of bad to I'm kind of just beating the horse over the head every single time I say it, but if your arena defense is Lushenable, meaning if the other team can kill you with having 2 Lushens on their team, you're not gonna make it past Guardian. You're not going to. I'm telling you right now. You might make it there midweek, but it's not going to last for very long. And as far as a good, let's see. As far as a good defense percent, you want to be right around 40%. Obviously, I didn't really do arena last week at all. You can see I was Conqueror 2, but the week before that, I was at 30%. You want your defense to be more around that 40% mark, because that's going to be enough to get you past that point from Conqueror to Guardian, and maybe even beyond that. So, but I mean, as you guys can see, like, the main thing you want to focus on is just to have your arena defense not be something that can be Lushened easily. Stop thinking like a Conqueror, start thinking like an actual Guardian, and you'll get to that point. I mean, and just to kind of reiterate, don't have a team that's all sustained, because completely 100% sustained teams are not going to sustain Conqueror 2. Okay, so focus on that. Focus on building teams that aren't Lushenable, and if you guys want to mention in the comments some monsters that you have, if you have questions like, hey, is this team Lushenable? How can I make it not Lushenable? Go right ahead. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you guys might have for me there. And I know, like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't really do videos like this, but if you want more of these types thrown in here and there amongst the entertainment videos, let me know, because I might actually do it if that's what you guys really want. Don't want to see those extra random videos here and there. But again, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Alright, good luck, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. If you want to see my previous video, click on the link. Also, the links for my Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter will be in the description. And if you prescribe, I'll send you a t-shirt when I hit 5,000 subs. As always, stay soupy and don't be a potato.